And we will now move on to some Japanese presentations, also in the area of treatment and prevention of disease. So let's take a look.
Next, we have Japanese speakers' presentations lined up on disease prevention and treatment. First, former chair of foundation, Motegi Satoshi of District 2750 of Tokyo, Japan, will give a presentation on the donation of multifunctional ultrasound medical vehicles. Good morning. For the past 4 years, I've been working for the Rotary Foundation, and I am a member of the 2750 district of Tokyo, Japan. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to present to you today. Now I will begin my presentation. An overview of the project, which is called Multifunctional Ultrasound Medical Vehicle for the Tainan region. The area of focus that is relevant is disease prevention and treatment. The project length is from 2019 until 22 or 20. And this also involves District 3500 of Taiwan, the Tainan Madu Rotary Club, District 3470 was also part of the effort. Hunkaya Onjo Chichibu Yori Fukaya Hirashi Kawamoto Minato Nagato Honjo Minami Fukaya Nos Rotary Clubs all participated. The recipient country provided cash, the aiding country provided DDF, and there was additional funds from WF. The total costing $99,976. This area is located on the southwest side of Taiwan. There are 36 administrative districts. The red spot is Changgun, which is west of Tainan City. It's an area that borders on the coast. According to statistics until 2018, the population is 19,000, and about 21% of the population is over the age of 65. It is one of the 6 areas where the average population age is highest in Taiwan. There are only 3 medical clinics, so there is a shortage of medical resources. If you look at this project, Tainan, Changgun needed this multifunctional ultrasound medical vehicle, which we donated to a clinic in the vicinity. This photo shows the exterior and interior of the medical vehicle, which is equipped with portable ultrasound and ECG equipment, and a doctor and nurse team are on board to do a tour of the villages each day of the week. Villagers who do not have access to clinics can visit this vehicle where they can receive diagnostic services. And through regular follow-up or checkup, residents can guarantee a healthy life. Older residents living alone or special needs individuals get the medical staff to visit their homes because they cannot readily visit the vehicles. And through the head of the village, we have information on people who are vulnerable and in need of social welfare services. We can also provide support in terms of daily expenses. There's also health screening and health counseling to enhance their health knowledge so that their quality of life will be improved. When it comes to asthma or diabetes and the right diet for diabetics, as well as prevention of multiple sclerosis, these are all areas covered by these sessions. As for the major outcomes of operating this vehicle, as of February 2020, we acquired the license from the authorities of Tainan, and a total of 66 tours were made. 3,175 people received services. 54 cases. When it comes to applying for global grants, it's important to have coordination between the donor country and the recipient country. Close communication is required. By having meetings, you can build trust, and afterwards, the application process for the grant can take place smoothly. For the implementation of this project, let me talk to you about the importance of human communication and cooperative relationships. In a manner of speaking, Mr. Isao, the District 3902, he is the head of the Friendship Committee there. And from 1991 until 1995, he studied in a university in Japan. And in 1993, he was the scholarship recipient. And the Honjo Rotary Club provided support in terms of scholarship, and he served as a coordinator in this project. The Honjo Rotary Club member, Mr. Takayuki, he is also the past governor of this district. In Kaohsiung in 2007, there was a friendship exchange meeting. And this is where the two individuals met for the first time in 23 years. And when he visited Japan once again afterwards, through introductions made by the governor of the district, the project was launched. As the chair of the club, I was aware of the benefits of the grants. So I asked Governor Murata for a favor. The Honjo Minami Rotary Club member, who is also an assistant to the governor of the district, made sure that all the clubs in the group could participate in this project. And he was also the liaison in applying for the global grant. So he wore many hats, and his efforts were vital in the success of the project. From January 16th until 19th, 2019, a joint team of Rotary members from Taiwan and Japan met with medical staff. They also visited 5 villages in the area. So we were able to look at the site where it was proposed that patient treatment take place. We also witnessed patient treatment in progress. Among the older population, some could speak Japanese, so they said thank you in Japanese and shook our hands. That left a great impression on my mind. Not just the recipient country, but also the Rotarians of the donor country could see for themselves the fruits that their endeavors were able to create. In conclusion, Rotarians are people of action. Only those who act can bear fruit, and the Rotary Foundation exists to assist your actions. We were able to reconfirm this message once again through this project, and I wanted to let all of you know about the benefits of this project. Thank you for your time and attention. Thank you very much, Mr. Motegi Satoshi, who is the former chair of the foundation. The District 2750 of Tokyo is a sister district of the Seoul District 3650, where I belong. Next, what do we have next?
Yes, next, we will hear a presentation about the joint project that was spearheaded by the RI2 District 2630 of Kihu and Mie in Japan and RI 3330 of Thailand. And the presentation will be made by Mr. Shinohara Kazuyuki of RI District 2630.
第2630地区
So District 2630 in Japan, Kihu and Mie, that's where I come from. My name is Shinohara Kazuyuki. Thank you very much for inviting me. It's an honor to be part of this event. Rotarians at District 2630 have been partnering with the RI District 3330 of Thailand in a joint project for disease prevention and treatment. And the theme of this session, treatment and prevention of disease, is the theme and aim of our project, so I'd like to talk about these projects. First of all, the joint project with the District 3330 of Thailand. We completed in the Krabi Hospital, the donation of very highly efficient medical equipment. The Nurses Rotary Club took charge of this project, and the total budget was $36,000. The Krabi Hospital is in Samplat City, which is a famous tourist city. But despite that, they did not have enough first aid equipment, particularly to treat patients with cardiopulmonary arrest. There needs to be very fast first aid treatment, and for that you need video laryngoscopes. And so this was the need that we identified in the area. And so with that, we started the project. And if you look at the content, there are patients where intubation is very difficult. So we have the video laryngoscope and the AED defibrillator and highly efficient resuscitators. We provided those equipment. So we have equipped hospitals with the AED defibrillator. And thirdly, we have provided professional training programs for the nurses and medical staff so that they will become familiar with how to use the equipment that we provide. And we try to continue to sustain the effects. So we have plans for after service and post training, and we're also providing supervisory and monitoring programs so that we can ensure the continued impact of this project. And we also have a mother and child care project. We are providing cutting-edge equipment to the Sampran Hospital. The Tajimi Riverside Rotary Club, District 2650, was in charge, and $60,000 was the budget of the project. In this region in Sampran, the infant mortality rate is very high, and we wanted to lower that mortality rate through our project. And we provided training programs for the medical staff as well. And if you look at the content of the presentation of this project, we have the incubator for infants in the neonatal ICU, and oxygen inhaler, and infant jaundice phototherapy devices, and stethoscopes for infants. And secondly, in order to provide high-quality services, we have accessory medical equipment that we have equipped the hospital with. And we're also providing professional training for medical staff, and also mother and child lessons and programs. And we are also providing maintenance services through local companies. And we're also monitoring the program and also providing further financial support so that the impact can be sustained over the years. And we're also directly monitoring and supervising the use of the equipment and also programs. But we're doing this remotely because of the COVID pandemic. And this project was actually aired on television. And we were moved by the genuine happiness on the faces of our beneficiaries. And the second grant program that I was talking about was really impactful, and it was a really good program, doing good in the world. There are so many people who are still waiting for us to reach out to them to do good. Countless Rotarians are taking action with affection and passion. And I hope that this kind of work will continue in the future through your hands and through your projects as well. Thank you very much for listening. Yes, that was a presentation on the joint project by districts 2630 in Japan and 3330 in Thailand. Next.
볼리비아 수두증. The next presentation is on the project to help heal hydrocephalic patients in Bolivia. Good morning. My name is Shinjiro Tohi of Higashi Hiroshima 21 Rotary Club. The District 2710 of Rotary International has undertaken a hydrocephalus treatment and relief project in Bolivia, South America since 2004. During the past 17 years, we were able to save the lives of more than 1,300 hydrocephalic patients. The project began back in 1999 when a Rotarian and Japanese resident of Bolivia, Mr. Yukio Hasegawa, visited a pediatric clinic in the city of La Paz, Bolivia. A 5-year-old child was in this pediatric clinic who is smiling in this photo. And the child's mother said, "My child is no doubt going to grow up to be very smart because look at the size of her head. It's huge." At the time, not much was known about the illness called hydrocephalus, and thus many children lost their lives because no one thought of getting treatment for them, because no one knew to. Bolivia is a multi-ethnic country, which is an inland state located almost in the dead center of South America. Its landmass is threefold the size of that of Japan, and its population is about 11.5 million. Currently, its per capita GNP is a little over $3,000, but in the early noughties, when this project began, it was one of the world's poorest countries, with a per capita GNP of $1,000, or 1/30th that of Japan. This is a photo of a hydrocephalic child. The disease features a large-sized head and lack of energy. Hydrocephalus is either a congenital condition or caused by infection when the fetus is inside the mother's womb. Sometimes the child is born with this condition, sometimes it is not. In some cases, the child acquires hydrocephalus after birth due to meningitic infection. 3 out of every 1,000 children born in Bolivia are born with this condition. This is a CT scan of the head. The photo on the left shows the abnormal filling of fluid in the cerebral ventricle. This pressurizes the brain and causes many symptoms. Treatment of hydrocephalus is called shunt surgery. This is surgically implanting a catheter called a shunt into the brain to divert excess cerebral spinal fluid away from the brain. The surgery requires the use of valves to prevent reflux of the fluid. In Bolivia, hospital stays and surgeries are covered by insurance, but not the purchase of this valve. This valve is not covered by insurance, which cost $370 back then. The average monthly income of a Bolivian worker at the time was less than $100. Most people could not therefore afford the valves, and this is why many children with hydrocephalus were unable to receive surgery and therefore lost their lives. This is why Rotary began to undertake this project. This project is not just about providing valves. First, we began an awareness-raising campaign about this illness to increase the level of knowledge among local residents. When we first began this project, many Bolivians were not aware of hydrocephalus. They did not know what it was. What you see here is a awareness-raising poster which we displayed in City Hall as well as various government offices and clinics, as well as in advertisements we took out in local newspapers. This is a signboard on the road to the airport. It says, 3 in every 1,000 children have hydrocephalus. Rotary provides valves necessary for treatment of this illness. This is how we actively raise the local community's awareness of hydrocephalus. Then we screen patients, and if they met the criteria, we purchase the valves which we deliver to the clinics. This is a child and mother awaiting surgery. This project began in La Paz, Bolivia in 2004 and spread by 2011 to the entire District 4690. The 22 clubs in Bolivia participated in this project, and over 170 members dedicated themselves to this humanitarian effort. This is footage of the actual surgery. General anesthesia is administered. A small incision is made on the side of the patient's head, and through this incision, a catheter is inserted to connect to the cerebral ventricle. To prevent reflux, a small plate is attached to the catheter to insert subcutaneously to the abdomen. This draws out the excess cerebral fluid from the ventricle to the abdominal cavity. Post-surgery, the patient is placed under observation in the ICU. This surgery helps to prevent cerebral damage, and the patient prognosis is normal development of intelligence. Every year, 70 to 80 patients undergo this surgery in Bolivia. We are helping save many children's lives. The Higashi Hiroshima 21 Rotary Club is of a modest size. It was founded in 2001. And along with Saijo Rotary Club, which is its mother club, we had 6 grants applied for, as well as global grants from July 2004. So over the course of 13 years, we were able to provide 1,004 valves. In May 2017, a commemorative ceremony marking the 1,000th valve donated was held in La Paz, Bolivia. We're happy that one small Rotary Club in Japan was able to save over 1,000 children's lives in Bolivia, which is located on the opposite side of the globe from Japan. District 2710 saw multiple clubs apply jointly for the global grant to mark the 100th-year anniversary of the foundation. Over 20 clubs joined in the effort. As a result, we were able to provide valves for 415 patients worth $164,000 US. An agreement was signed between District 4690 and Chuquiago and Marca Rotary Club of Bolivia. Miss Maria is currently 13 years old. She was born prematurely at 7 months with symptoms of hydrocephalus, and through Rotary's hydrocephalus treatment project, she was able to receive surgery. And now she has grown up to become the best student in her class with the highest academic grades. This Japanese Bolivian resident and Rotarian Yukio Hasegawa is the person who was behind the beginning of this project. And in recognition of his contribution, he was the recipient of the Rotary Service Above Self Award in 2016. To this day, this octogenarian continues to provide this humanitarian service. Bolivia has a large population of children. Over half the population is below the age of 14. However, infant and child mortality figures are still high, which means that many children are still losing lives. We Rotarians must continue to reach out to the world so that such children can benefit from getting the right treatment. Thank you.
Next, we'll hear a presentation from the governor of District 2750 of Tokyo, Mr. Miura Shinichi. He will be talking about the RI District 2750's global grant project on COVID-19. So let me begin the presentation on our activity. It is a presentation of the global grant project on COVID-19 taken on by District 2750. It was participated in by almost all the clubs in our district. This project focused, first of all, on supporting the hospitals in Italy. And second, we had the second project where we carried out a project in Naperville, of Illinois, where we focused on equipping hospitals in this region with medical equipment. And there was also another one where we also provided similar medical equipment. And for the first project, we provided the 28 hospitals with stretchers and also the thermal scanners, as well as triage unit. DDF, WF, and the club's donations all totaled 1.3 million euros. And it was through that strong network of Rotary that we were able to continue with this project very quickly. In about 2 to 3 weeks, we were able to initiate the project, and it was completed in about 5 weeks. So let's look at a video of this project.
During this emergency, the 13 Italian Rotary districts, including more than 900 clubs, responded to the crisis with a coordinated strategy, focusing on disease prevention. With the Rotary Italia project, Prevention to Defeat the COVID-19 Pandemic, worth 1,300,000 euros, we want to offer to 28 hospitals in Italy, which are directly involved in the fight against COVID-19, an innovative technology package to minimize the risk of infection of healthcare workers and interrupt the virus transmission. The project aims at equipping each hospital with 2 thermoscanners to instantly detect the presence of fever, a COVID triage unit, an isolated cabin where it's possible to safely perform triage, and a stretcher for transporting the infected patient by protecting the healthcare staff from exposure to the infection. The project aims at responding to the most urgent needs while providing tools that could help healthcare facilities in the long term as well, in the event of another spike in infections or for future research and development. Rotary connects the world, says our motto this year. With this project, we want to allow the world to be able to safely reconnect again in the next future. Together, we can bring positive change to our communities. Together, we can save lives.
The second is a project to provide remote medical treatment as well as communication for remote areas. So for nursing facilities as well as home care facilities, we have provided IT equipment so that they can talk remotely with their family members. So there were 4 districts that were involved, and more than $20,000 was injected into the project. And including WF, there was more than $84,000 that was injected. The Hero Rotary Club in Japan also participated. The biggest funder was Japan, and had spearheaded the global grant project. And we were able to be the leader of the lead in this project because the requirement for the funding was lowered from 30% to 15%. With the past rule, we're not able to become the lead in a global grant program, but thanks to the easing of the requirement from 30 to 15%, we were able to spearhead this global grant project. There were some pictures, so please take a look at these pictures. The third project is from Narita to support medical staff, to provide personal protective equipment and anti-infection suits to the medical staff, to the hospitals in Narita near the Narita airport. And so one district and one club in Japan and many other Rotary countries came together, and to the total of $36,000, including WF, was injected into this project. The Tokyo Hero and the Naperville in the United States, those were the 2 Rotary districts that headed this project. And there was an exchange of the benefactor and beneficiary project, and it is a very good project that exemplifies the international cooperation in Rotary. So these are some pictures of the project. Thank you very much for listening.